What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with another Bad Batch episode review and breakdown covering episode 2. Now, as I always have to say in these videos, if you haven't watched the episode yet, then be sure to go and watch it before you watch the rest of this video, as we are going to be diving into some spoiler territory throughout. So anyway, getting stuck into the episode, we find out right off the bat that the Bad Batch are heading to Saleucami, which is what they teased at the end of the premiere with the reference to J19, and this led to a very interesting prediction that a lot of people had after episode 1. They arrive at Saleucami and proceed to meet their friend that they mentioned in the previous episode, and this friend of theirs turned out to be Saleucami. Now, I'm sure most of you guys remember Cut from the Clone Wars, but for those who maybe haven't seen it or just forgot the character, Cut is a clone deserter who essentially left the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars in order to just settle for more of a normal life, after seeing so many of his brothers fall in battle. Rex finds himself injured on Saleucami during the Clone Wars and is actually rescued by Cut, who takes him in, tends to his wounds, and then Rex and Cut actually went on to battle the droids in order to save his farm. And after all of that, Rex decided not to turn Cut into the Republic for being a deserter, and they clearly stayed friends ever since then, as Cut actually mentioned that Rex had stopped by just a day earlier than the Bad Batch. So anyway, that was instantly a pretty awesome start to the episode, a nice little bit of fan service there that actually makes complete sense and really helped push the story along. So I thought that was really well done, and it's little cameos like that which really make Star Wars so great. Now, the entire rest of the episode is essentially just Cut, his family, and the Bad Batch trying to figure their way off the planet, as the clones have set up an outpost and are starting to take control of the planet, and it's far too risky for Cut or the Bad Batch to be there, as obviously they're all on the run and in hiding, so they need to get out as fast as they can. One thing that I thought was great about this episode was that Cut really did add a lot of value to the episode in what he taught Hunter about raising children. Obviously, Hunter is very smart and an awesome soldier and all that, but Cut has experienced raising children before, and he really does impart some wisdom on Hunter that I think really will be a force for a bit of change in his character throughout the rest of the season. As you can already tell, he kind of opened his eyes a little bit and realised that being a good soldier doesn't make you great at everything, and he has a lot to learn when it comes to looking after and raising Omega, which it seems right now is one of their main tasks, as judging by the end of the episode, she's definitely sticking around for good. I thought that was some really good character development there already in only the second episode, seeing Hunter, who I'd argue is the main character, drastically changing his outlook and realising he's got a lot to learn. That was awesome to see, and I'm really glad that they're adding a bit of depth to these characters, which is honestly my biggest worry heading into the show. Their arc in season 7 was good, don't get me wrong, but it also was that kind of cliche, diverse group of soldiers who just destroy battalions of droids with ease, and they did seem pretty shallow as characters, to be honest, but already I've noticed so much character development, and like I said, that does definitely make me happy and even more excited to see where the rest of the story goes. Another thing that was pretty awesome to see was just the way in which the clones are already taking over and setting up outposts and stuff like that. They're genuinely the exact same as what we see of the Empire in the OT, which obviously makes sense, but to see clones doing that instead of stormtroopers was definitely just a bit different and was very intriguing to me, honestly. It makes you pretty sad to see the good guys of the Clone Wars now being evil. It almost felt like watching a different version of Order 66 in a way, and yeah, I found that aspect of the episode to be pretty interesting, and I do hope we see more of that in the future, which I'm sure we will. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on was the storyline that's setting up here with Omega and Hunter. As much as I really do like both characters and I'm excited to see where the story goes, I am also getting heavy Mandalorian vibes from it as well, with Omega essentially just being Grogu and Hunter being Mando, and I do hope that they make it different enough from the Mandalorian that it's not just the same kind of story that gets rehashed in a different setting with different characters. I can already tell that at some point throughout the series, Omega will probably be captured by Tarkin and the Empire, and then the Bad Batch will be tasked with trying to get her back, just like Din had to do in the Mandalorian, and that is definitely an interesting and intense way for the story to go, so I'm not really opposed to that, but yeah, I just hope the two stories aren't exactly the same, as there's so many ways they could go with each of these shows, and for two shows to be pretty much the same storyline, it would just feel like a bit of a wasted opportunity in a way, so I'm definitely hoping they vary it enough by the end of the season. Filoni has proved time and time again that he's amazing at what he does, and I have absolute faith that he will do well with the series, so not really a complaint or a worry for me, but yeah, it was just something I noticed in the episode, and I'm hoping it does eventually stand on its own two legs. I'm not too sure where we go from here in the next episode. I know that they mentioned Rex wasn't far away, and just judging by the trailers, I assume they do get in contact with him pretty soon. Whether we see him in episode 3 or not, I'm not too sure, but I'd imagine that is probably the direction we're headed for the next couple of episodes. So anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. I really enjoyed the episode, and I thought it progressed the story really well in order to show, the next steps of their escape. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of the episode and what you think is going to happen in the next episode, and I will be back again the same time next week with another episode review of episode 3. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them! Make them suffer!